All right, folks. Well, here we are. We're with a really amazing person, Miss Melissa Francis, who's now Melissa, say it,
McClellan.
Fallon, because I'll get it wrong. And Melissa was a four-time regional champ in the 100 hurdles, a regional champ in the 300 hurdles in 2013, and also was a two-time All-Stater on the 4x8 relays, which hopefully we'll talk about because I'm sure that was the last thing she ever thought to be an All-Stater in. She even tried cross country her senior year, and I was shocked she came back after the Hesperia, which may have been one of the more horrible
Oh, that was, yeah.
She currently is nursing, living in Salt Lake City, and has two beautiful children, is married, and we're gonna find out a lot more about Melissa as we go forward. Melissa, how you been?
I've been good, busy. Two kids working, trying to figure out motherhood and keep them two alive.
You have Millie,
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5?
Yep, she just turned 4 in January. In preschool is just running around crazy. And then I have Jasper, who just turned 6 months, who is a tank. He's 22 pounds. He's just a thick little boy.
22 pounds. That's almost as much as my nearly 4-year-old weighs.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Well, that's probably he's gonna need that to just fight off Millie, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you are living in Salt Lake City now,
Yep.
nursing,
Mm-hmm.
and your husband is a professional rugby player and also is a project manager.
Yep. Concrete project manager.
How do you like in Salt Lake City?
I love it. I mean, it's different. I mean, I can look outside my window and there's mountains, which is amazing. Not a whole lot of water, which is definitely a change. You know, not being able to just go out to the beach, run at the beach, all that kind of stuff is kind of different, but definitely fun. We've done a lot of hiking, exploring the area. I mean, we've been to quite a few national parks and it's just been a fun place. It's a lot of fun, young crowd. And yeah, we can like 15 minutes from our house, we can get up Big Cottonwood Canyon where Snowbird is. And it's, yeah, easy to escape.
I've seen your pictures. It does look beautiful. The one thing, just kind of knowing you, that I would think would be the hardest part is just you're so close with your family and having them.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like they go out quite a bit.
Yeah, my parents are out here all the time. Lily came, visited, left the Air Force for a few days and came and visited. Jessica's been here. So yeah, it's definitely hard. I mean, we FaceTime. I think I call my mom like 4 or 5 times a day on FaceTime and she can talk to the kids and just, yeah, catch up. And that way they can have that connection that she had with Millie when she was little. So
That's got to be important, just because the faster your mom talks, the harder it is for me to know what's said. So those kids are going to learn both American English and English.
mm-hmm. Between my mom and Peppa Pig, yes.
That Peppa Pig, that's playing in this house quite a bit too. That's awesome. So let's go back to high school. You were really a 4-sport athlete. You were a volleyball player, basketball, track, and then even, like we said, at the end of your high school career, you dual sported with volleyball and cross country. Was sports just something always that you were drawn to? How did that happen?
Yeah, I think it's just something I just love to do. I mean, I love the team aspect, especially at Saugatuck. We were always such a small group, so you became super close with those people. It was a way to escape, as a way to hang out and kind of travel and just have fun with friends, really. And then
Yeah.
it helped that we did fairly well, and just those friendships that came from it. I wanted school to end so I could go to practice and hang out there for a little bit.
Yeah, I think that, there's a segment of people that, even though they may be high achievers in the classroom like you were, if you took that component away, I don't know if they would do as well in school even. Like it was, it seemed for you like something you always really enjoyed. It never kicking and screaming. There was never, can I get out of practice for this or that? You were always just like there.
Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciated that as a coach. And I was a fairly young coach at the time. And I remember when your freshman year, I think we only had 8 or 9 girls.
Yeah, I think I like everyone left. I think we started and then everyone left and there's like, yeah, 8 or 9 of us. It was, but I think that's what also made us stronger because we had to pick up the slack. We had, we had to count on each other and push through. And
Well, yeah. So you went from a program that was basically being rebuilt your freshman year to your senior year. You guys were regional champs. From then on, the girls haven't lost a regional title in track since, and quite the powerhouse was built. And I think you were a big part of that. Just
I think my freshman year there was Heather and I that qualified for state, and then by my senior year there was so many more. I mean, we had relays, we had individual. It was crazy.
And I was going back through your athletic.net profile, just looking, and it was like, was there anything you just didn't do? I mean, like,
I think I gave it all a shot. Why not?
I mean, you pole vaulted, you you did a lot of sprints. I didn't even realize you were 3rd in the conference in the 100 dash.
Just one day I was like, just go for it. Okay, let's just do it.
And that's something that's sort of different. Like, I'll be honest, it gets harder and harder. Kids they have their own ideas about things, and you are always pretty open to anything. I can even remember your junior year when you're like, yeah, we need you to run the 4x8. And you're like, you could just see in your face, like,
it's like, that's a lot. That's far.
But you guys ended up breaking the school record, and I think you got 10:05, and you were 3rd at the state meet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I ended up loving that race, even though I hated it at the same time. I mean, it's a hard race, and I just remember bouncing back between prelims for 100 hurdles and then warming up for the 4x8 and then running the 4x8 and then going back to the hurdles. But I mean, I love that. I loved always being busy and constantly just going back and forth.
You made quite a sacrifice, because I'm sure that affected the way your semis and finals went. I mean, but that you never
I just called it a warm up.
And then you ended up going on to Davenport, earning a scholarship to run track. And how did that go?
It was a different program. It was also a smaller program, which I thought I would enjoy. I loved all my teammates. It just wasn't the same as what high school was for me. We weren't always obviously constantly together. I didn't grow up with all these people. We're all coming from different backgrounds. A little bit of a different dynamic than what I was used to and what I was kind of hoping for. I felt like throughout high school, it was a one track family. We spent so many hours together.
I mean, I think it's good that that sort of happened. And it brought you to Davenport, because what kind of followed after you left track and field is one of like the most incredible, just you need your own movie. Hopefully that happens.
So one day I was sat in class in one of my first nursing classes, and one of my friends goes, "Hey, why don't you come play rugby?" And I was like, no, like I run, like I don't. And she's like, "Just come play." And I was like, "No." And then one day she asked again. I was like, "You know what? Let's just do it. Let's just go for it." So I went to a tournament in the summer, walked up, didn't even know how to pass the ball, didn't know what to do. I had known rugby, like my dad used to play, but like I really didn't know much. I was like, "Can someone just teach me how to at least pass the ball, please?" Yeah. And they're like, "You know what? Just run." It's like, I can do that. I can just run. So my dad comes up to me and goes, "Do not embarrass me." I'm like, okay. So I, get out on the field. I'm out on the wing. They pass me the ball. I catch the ball, somehow surprisingly catch the ball. I just run. I score a try, and I was like, okay. I definitely got tackled a few times. I can say I made a tackle, but I remember leaving and I had a big bruise all over my chin. So I did not tackle correctly. But from that day on, I just fell in love. I was like, yep, this is where I'm supposed to be. I don't get in trouble like I did in basketball for fouling out. Like, I'm allowed to be rough. So this is for me.
Yeah. So that ended up spurring on. I mean, you won part of 4 national titles, right?
Yeah. I joined a team of, I call them a team of misfits. I mean, there's girls of every single size. I mean, heck, there's some of my best friends now. We traveled all over the US. Yeah. I mean, we have memories all over I even got to play in Wales at one point. It was so much fun. I miss it every day. I wish I could. I mean, I could go back and play, but I don't know. I don't know if my body can handle that right now.
I have no doubt, just knowing you, that if you decided that you were going to go back, it would,
Hmm.
and because
Yeah.
you're just that kind of person that if you
Hmm.
decide it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So I don't know. I think that's pretty incredible. I also think it's pretty incredible that you had Millie while you were in college.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of people would have said, well, that'd be a reason not to finish college. But a lot
Yeah,
of
no, um, from when I found out I was pregnant with Millie, I knew right away. I said, I'm not stopping school. I put in too much effort to get into the nursing program at Davenport. I was like, I've put way too much energy into this. I'm gonna finish. And luckily, I mean, I had my parents' support from the beginning. Their thing was, yep, you're finishing. So I remember after I had Millie, I went back to school 4 days after I had her. My mom had Millie, and and then 3 weeks after that, I was back practicing, no contact, but starting to run. And I thought everything was going to break. I said, I don't know what's going on here. Um, so I remember like I would go to class in the morning. So I'd drive up to Davenport from Saugatuck. So 45 minutes, come home after class, feed Millie, hang out with Millie. And then I would go back up to practice at Davenport again, and then come back home and do homework. And I mean, there's many days where I sat there and I was like, what is this crazy? But I mean, I knew I had to finish. I knew I wanted to get back in playing. Prior to finding out I was pregnant with Millie, I broke my ankle playing rugby. So I had surgery, but all that happened 3 weeks before our first 15s national championship. And that was just devastating because we had worked so hard, and um, to get there, we were traveling to California 3 weeks after, and it happened. And I remember seeing the surgeon office. He's like, "Okay, you're getting plates, and you're having 2 plates and 8 screws." I was like, "What?" So, yep, two days later, I had the surgery, and I just remember it was just heartbreaking because we had worked so hard, and I was so excited to go. Luckily, I was able to still fly with the team to California, and watch them win that national championship. But definitely was heartbreaking being on the sidelines and not getting to play at all. And then I found out I was pregnant with Millie, and I just knew that I was like, okay, we have a broken ankle, a baby. I gotta make a comeback. Like, we're not going out this way. So then I had Millie in the end of January, and I think it's April Fool's Day actually. Played my first sevens tournament with her on the sidelines. My parents came, so they had Millie when I was playing, and in between games, and it was definitely a lot slower than I was prior, but it was just a great feeling. And my team, my coaches, everyone was super supportive. I had all the other parents on the sidelines, like passing Millie around. Like
the
it was
math.
pretty awesome.
She's like the mascot, I would assume.
She what? Oh yeah, yep. And then there's even a picture where our coaches labeled one of the balls as Millie, like don't drop Millie, don't drop Millie. Yeah, and we just continued to. I mean, we ended up going to Atlanta to play in the 15s national championships. That was like full circle 1 year later, and I got to play, and that was incredible. I was like, okay, I did this. Like and then we also traveled to Colorado for sevens nationals, which we didn't win, but we still made it to that tournament, which was amazing. And there's Millie and I just going through the airport with our, with my whole team following me, the stroller, and it was, yeah, it was pretty cool.
So do you think, like, maybe in some ways breaking your ankle was almost a blessing?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it brought Millie into our lives, and that little girl, she's full of spunk, but my goodness, I love her. She's a strong little girl. Everything's a competition.
Yeah.
Well, we're out walking, who's going to win there first? Like, Millie, everything is not a competition, but in her mind it is.
Uh, like, I think some people are born with that. And
Mm-hmm.
like, because that's kind of how I feel like I was as a kid, and I see that in my son. As people will say, hey, like, not everything has to be a competition, and I understand that, but I also
Mm-hmm.
have a hard time trying to stop that mentality, because I do think I mean, look at you. Like, obviously there's some drive. If somebody had told you all through your life, like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, maybe, you come.
Yeah, maybe I would have just walked away when, things were getting hard, and I didn't, want to, get my body back into shape, do the rehab. I mean, I was sat in our training room 8 months pregnant, working on rehabbing my ankle. The looks I got, definitely quite a few, but I mean, they got me to where I was, and I finished school. And
I mean, I got to tell you, Melissa, like you are truly a hero of mine because
yeah.
I feel like we live in a society now where everyone would tell you basically don't or let it go. And maybe people did tell you that, but you didn't listen. And the lesson for your little girl and your son about just perseverance and just being tough, like I think that's invaluable. And I think more people need to to hear that and say, okay, I guess whatever silly thing that's keeping me from doing X, Y, or Z shouldn't be. I mean, look at Melissa. She broke her ankle, had a baby, had to do nursing school, had all these things like living in Saugatuck, driving to Grand Rapids, right? I mean, that's, like you had a lot of things where any one of those things people could understand why maybe you would stop certain things, but you didn't. And I guarantee you along the way, you're going to hear somebody tell you that you're lucky. And if they ever do, I hope you just like unload on them. There's no luck involved. You are just a killer. So
Thank you. I mean, I think so much of it came from constantly doing so much in high school. And I mean, we worked our tails off, and all the hours, all the miles we put in, like for track and cross country, and then dual sporting, I just like constantly being pushed. And, we always had these goals. We went from 8 of us my freshman year on the track team to being regional champs. Like, we worked so hard. We worked snow, we'd come back in with ice on our face, and being able to see like getting through that, like I mean, that's why I think I have such a hard work ethic, is because it's been showing me that does pay off. So put in the work, put in the effort, because you will get to where you want to be. It's going to be hard, it's going to suck at times, but you know what, like it's worth it.
I mean, just academically, you finished nursing school. I remember talking to you at one track meet where you were like able to do phlebotomy or something. You were able to work at a hospital, still go to school, still play rugby, be a mom. I just like, even then I was like, man, I suck. This woman is incredibly special. So, keep it up. I'm sure you will. There's probably no other option. And now you're out in Salt Lake City. You're nursing. Where are you nursing?
I work in a newborn intensive care unit, so in the NICU, a level 4 NICU. So we're the highest level NICU in the area, in like the 5 surrounding states. Yeah, we get the sickest of the sick kids, the tiny ones, the big ones. We get them all, and I love it.
You're perfect for that, I would think, just because you just don't give up. And some of the dealings we've had with some healthcare stuff with Angie's dad, even my dad, sometimes that nursing staff and their attitude can really be trying. And if like somebody like you, where it's like, we're not giving up ever, like no way, that's just got to be incredibly comforting for those people.
Yeah, I mean, I've met some pretty incredible families. I'm still in close contact with one of them, and she always texts me like, are you working today? Can we come see you? I mean, just last week I had a baby who was 1.5 pounds. Yeah, born at 23 something weeks. And I mean, a little fighter. I mean, and I'm there, I'm taking care of him, but I'm like supporting, supporting the family. Like, it's gonna be a long road, but you guys can do it. Like, we will work together. We will get you there. So it's pretty incredible. I mean, these babies, they're so innocent, and you can't help but just love them and want what's best for them.
I'm such a crier that would not work for me. You probably know that about me. I get pretty emotional. That would just, I'd struggle. I'm struggling just thinking about that. Wow. So kudos to you. I don't know.
Yeah.
You are an inspiration.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I try my best. I just, I wouldn't be anywhere I am today without so many people that supported me through high school and supported my crazy ideas like, hey, I'm gonna dual sport in cross country and, and volleyball. So I'll have to run on my own sometime. Like, and, you guys were like, yeah, that's fine. Like, you're gonna do it, then fine. We'll support you. Me and my parents were driving back and forth constantly. I mean, for me and my sisters, they followed me all over the country for rugby.
So I got to ask you this about rugby. Since your dad and you both played, do you when you're watching Angus or something, do you ever like have disagreements about what's going on or what should happen?
Sometimes when I goes, oh yeah, I was better than that. It's like, okay. But yeah, so it's kind of funny because my dad will try and say stuff about Angus's position because they played the same position, and he's like, oh yeah, I used to do that, and I was like, you did you?
Like your dad's great and all, but
Uh-huh.
Angus, it's almost the perfect name because that guy is a beef boss. Holy,
He sure is. Yep. We know where Jasper gets it from.
I don't think there's too many things your dad and him could have done the same on a rugby field. I feel like your dad had to be a little bit more wily.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think I get some of my spirit on the field from him.
So, do you have any other plans as far as further education or?
Well, right now within our unit, we do a whole lot of education. So I'm doing like my critical care shifts and that kind of thing. So learning how to take care of even sicker babies on different ventilators, high frequency, which we use specifically in the NICU, kids on ECMO, that kind of stuff. So I'm definitely learning a lot within the unit. I'm thinking about going and get my master's, but I don't know if I want to do nurse practitioner or if I want to do kind of more education so I can teach a bit more. But I think for right now, I'm just going to kind of enjoy the kids being young. But it's nice to be able to go to work and kind of have that separation where it's like only about me and learning and taking care of these babies and then coming home to my own kids. And
So, if you could go back in time and meet your high school self, is there any advice that you would give young Melissa?
I think just like never, I mean, just never give up. Like, things are gonna get tough. You're gonna feel overwhelmed. I remember laying in the bathtub like 2 weeks after I had Millie, trying to study for pharmacology, looking at my papers, falling asleep, like just exhausted and dead tired. And it definitely popped up in my mind a few times, like, this is crazy. Like, why are you doing this to yourself? But yeah, I'm glad that I never did give up and that I had the support system that would never actually let me give up either, would talk me away from making those kind of decisions.
So my buddy, Ethan Levensey,
Mhm.
I guess he was my athlete, but I call him my buddy. He always says, bet on yourself, always bet on yourself. And
Mhm.
there's no better person that kind of embodies that statement of betting on yourself and than you. I probably said it way too many times, but it needs to be said 1,000 more times to you every single day. Like how incredible and amazing what you have accomplished. And I have no doubt that whatever route you choose, it won't matter as far as you doing a great job. It'll just be whatever probably needs you most, teaching or being a nurse practitioner. Either one, I think,
Mhm.
your mark on a whole lot of people, because I don't know a single person who has anything bad to say about Melissa Francis.
I just think people need to like realize like, you can do so much more than you imagine you could. That you just need to be willing to put in the effort, I guess.
Is there anything else, you want to impart on our maybe our high school audience as far as like things that they should consider as they're finishing out or starting their high school or their high school athletic or even just academic career?
I think just being open to whatever opportunities come up. So many times I had said like, hey, no, I don't want to play rugby. I don't know what I'm doing. But if I wouldn't have said yes, that one tournament, I would have missed out on, I mean, everything. I wouldn't have I probably wouldn't have met my husband or, um,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have met all these amazing, incredible women who, I have teammates who've gone to be lawyers, who've joined the military. I have, that are just, are just doing so much awesome stuff. And I mean, their family, it's just, I mean, my whole life would have been changed.
Any chance Melissa's going to be a coach?
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I mean, I love to teach. Yeah. If I can find the time when Angus decides to finally retire from his rugby, yeah, I would love to.
Finish out by saying I'm extremely proud to watch you. I don't want to like say I'm like proud of you, because I mean I am, but like I don't feel like I had a hand in any of this. It's just fun to watch someone like you do what you're doing, being successful. And I really appreciate you taking the time, to talk to me today. And I appreciate all the times you talked to my wife when she was going through her pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
Gave her
We
all
got to stick together.
advice and helped her through that. And, anytime you're around or anytime you need anything, please don't hesitate to ask if we gladly help you anytime. You're just.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for all you do and for all you did for that program, because yeah, like I said, I don't think we would have been where we are without you guys. So
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
You have a wonderful time and day and everything. And thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Take care.
Yeah.